Welcome to a late edition of Football Scientific with me, Aaron Sauter, writer for CFLNewsHub.com, and I cover the NFL, the ELF, the UFL, the CFL, the IFL, the NAL, and college football here on Football Scientific. I am joined by my guest host, Ziggy the Zebra. Ziggy the Zebra's here, but let's get it going. Yeah. I'm Ziggy the Zebra. Ziggy the Zebra. Whoop whoop. Okay. Alright, so let's just go through it. The big reason for tonight's show is our betting guide for IFL National Championship game tomorrow night, and also our predictions for the ELF, the European League of Football Week 14, the last regular season week. But there has been some NFL news along the way. So first, in NFL, San Francisco 49ers released tight end Ross Dwelley. Jacksonville Jaguars are saying Travis Hunter he has an upper body injury, will probably not play in this preseason game this weekend. Okay, that's probably going both ways. Speaking of preseason games, tomorrow on Saturday we have Miami Dolphins at Detroit Lions, New England Patriots at Minnesota Vikings, Carolina Panthers at Houston Texans, Baltimore Ravens at Dallas Cowboys, New York Jets at New York Giants. That should be compelling. Green Bay Packers at Indianapolis Colts, Cleveland Browns at Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers at Las Vegas Raiders. This should be another compelling one. LA Chargers at LA Rams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Pittsburgh Steelers, and Arizona Cardinals at Denver Broncos. Pretty good slate of games. Remember, second week of preseason, most teams are going to play their starters for like the first half. Okay. All right, UFL. San Francisco 49ers have signed former Houston Roughnecks defensive lineman Shaquille Brown. Denver Broncos signed St. Louis Battlehawks defensive back Micah Abraham. So we got some UFL people still making some impacts, getting a chance. Do it in the NFL. CFL, we had our second game in week 11 tonight as the Edmonton Elks upset the Toronto Argonauts. Is it an upset? It feels like it to me. I really thought Toronto was going to win that game, but they did not. They're inconsistent. That's why they're 2-8. Okay, CFL roster moves over the next 3 days. First, Edmonton Elks. They added to practice roster national defensive lineman Jacob Plamondo. They moved to the practice roster national defensive back Jarrell Commons. They released American linebacker Darian Butler. Ottawa Red Blacks. They moved to some game injured list global linebacker Les Maruo. They signed American defensive back Shakur Brown. And they added from the single injury list American defensive back Gavin Heslop. Okay. Ottawa Red Blacks, they added from the single injury list global linebacker Tyran Vrede. They moved to the single injury list American defensive back Elijah McGee. And they moved to the 6-game injury list American defensive back Amari Henderson. Montreal Alouettes, they signed earlier this week American quarterback Cameron Dukes to be their backup quarterback. Because they had to move McLeod Bethel Thompson to the 6-game injured list. He's going to be out for a long stretch. So they moved Cameron Dixon to be the backup, the starter. It's hard to say. Let's see what he ends up being for him. Okay. Next, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. After playing last night, they added to the practice roster American defensive back Cam Allen. And they moved to the 6-game injured list American defensive back Terrell Bonds. Hamilton Tiger Cats, in anticipation of tomorrow's game, they moved to the single injury list national running back Johnny Augustine. They added American running back Kevin Brown to take his spot. They moved to the single injury list American wide receiver Isaiah Wooten. And they added to for the practice roster national defensive lineman Ty Anderson. Okay. Boom. Next. Hamilton Ticats continue. They moved to the 6-game injury list. National tight end Daniel Bell, so also a fullback. They moved to the single injury list. American linebacker Rayshawn Wilburn. They have a lot of injuries this week, y'all. They added from the practice roster American defensive back Zamari Walton. They moved to the single injury list American defensive back Jamal Peters. And they moved to the single injury list American defensive back Quavian White. Okay. Beat up. They're real beat up. He's playing Saskatchewan too. It's a tough matchup, man. Check out my pregame article about this game for tomorrow on CFLNewsHub.com. Saskatchewan Rough Riders, they moved to practice roster national offensive lineman Noah Zur. Montreal US have added from the practice roster national wide receiver Kasim Ferdinand, and they added from the practice roster national defensive lineman Philippe Lemieux Cardinal. They moved to the single game injury list national running back Sean Thomas Erlington. They added from the single game injured list American running back Stevie Scott III. BC Lions add from the single game injury list American defensive lineman Jonah Tavai. They moved to the single game injury list national fullback Jacob Bond. And they added from the practice roster national defensive lineman Anthony Bennett. Okay. All right, CFL names. As mentioned, tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m., that's Saturday, August 23rd at 10:30 p.m., we are getting treated to the IFL National Championship game as we see the Vegas Nighthawks and the Green Bay Blizzard fight it out in Tucson. Basically, how I see this game going, two explosive offenses, two opportunistic defenses. In the last round of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference Championship, Western Conference Championship, it was offensive dominated. This could definitely be a shootout, okay? I got Green Bay. I think Max Myler is better than Jaden DeLaura and better than Jerome Johnson. I think he's going to come carry his team to a victory. I'm predicting Green Bay wins this game and wins the national championship for the East side, which is rare. I think they're going to go into Tucson and beat Vegas Nighthawks 54-49. That's 103 total points. DraftKings does not agree with me. They picked Vegas at they're a 1.5 point favorite with Green Bay being a 1.5 point underdog. Over-under 99.5. So I'm saying this game's going to go over. Boop. And I'm saying bet Green Bay on the money line. They're winning this game, y'all. This game can be watched on CBS Sports Network and also the IFL Network. So I'll be watching the IFL Network. Tulsa Oilers. They have two exemptions for the UFL. Quarterback Sam Castronova, who's now in the UFL. Memphis Showboats. And then another wide receiver, Isaiah Scott. Okay. He is now in the UFL. Okay. And then that's the IFL National Championship betting guide. Green Bay. Money line over. That's what's going down. Last week of the elf season is upon us. Tomorrow there's several games. First, we got the Stuttgart Surge traveling to the Faribault and Throners. The Stuttgart Surge have locked in their playoff spot. They could earn a third spot based on some other teams' activities, but it's doubtful, man. I think they'll beat Faribault anyway. I think they're the better team. I think they go into Faribault and they win this game. Faribault's 1-10. They go into this game and win 44-17. I think Surge will go into the playoffs feeling good about themselves. Munich Ravens 10-1. Go to Wroclaw Panthers. Wroclaw Panthers have nothing to play for. Munich Ravens can play for a 1 or 2 seed. That's going to be a big motivating factor. I say Munich Ravens go into Wroclaw and win this game 35-31. Paris Musketeers at Vegas. Vienna Vikings Vegas. At Vienna Vikings. 7-4 and 10-1. Vienna needs to win this game to get a 1 or 2 seed. Paris needs to win this game to get a playoff spot. This game means more to Paris than it does to Vienna, so I have Paris win this game 42-39. Okay, continue. Sunday games. Hamburg Sea Devils 2-9. Go to Berlin Thunders 3-8. Who cares? 24-13 Berlin. It's a meaningless game. Number 5, Madrid Bravo 7-4. Frankfurt Galaxy 6-5. Frankfurt's got an outside chance of making the playoffs. Very outside chance of making the playoffs. Madrid is one of 3 teams fighting out for the last 2 playoff spots. Madrid is going to be highly motivated. Frankfurt Galaxy, I can't say the same for them. So I got Madrid winning this game 42-32 in Frankfurt. Okay, number 6, Helvetic Mercenaries 0-11 traveling to the Prague Lions. Prague Lions are not good at home. They're 6-5 though. I think they'll beat Helvetic 28-12. Okay, week 7. It's finally over for the Cologne Centurions. After this week, they're 0-11. They play the T-Roll Raiders. It's finally over for them if they lose. T-Roll's 5-6, but they're way better than the Cologne Centurions. I got T-Roll winning this game at home, 32-6. At number 8, we got the Nordic Storm and Rhein Fire. This is basically a playoff game, y'all. This is basically a playoff game. Rhein Fire is trying to make the playoffs. They need to win this game. Nordic Storm, if they win the game, will most likely be a 1 or 2 seed and get a bye week. If they don't win this game, they will not get a bye week. Okay. So how's the sit going down? I see it going down. Nordic Storm need to win this game. Ryan Fire need to win this game. I think Nordic Storm's a better team. They have a lot of those players from last year's Ryan Fire team. So I got Nordic Storm going into Ryan Fire and winning this game in Rhine, 38-29 in Dusseldorf. Okay? All right. So that is our predictions for the ELF. We went over our IFL National Championship prediction. Green Bay, money line, over. Okay? That's how it's looking there. So that is our show for tonight. We'll come back tomorrow with more information and probably an ACC breakdown in college football. So have a good night. I'm going to go to bed. Remember, check out CFLNews.com for CFL News, and also subscribe to the channel. More subscribers we get, the bigger we grow. We're growing bigger. We got 120 people. We keep getting bigger every day. Okay? Literally every day. And then like the video so you see more of our videos. And tell your friends, man. Subscribe and like the videos, okay? All right. That's it for Football Scientific. The portal is now closed.